Welcome classmates to my final project for multimedia, lesson plan incorporating multimedia. This will happen in my Multimedia 1 class. I'll be using Prezi to teach them so they can learn how to use it along with finding out what the other multimedia programs to learn. It's a 90-minute lesson that we'll be doing, state standards and benchmarks. The actual objectives that they'll be worried about. We'll be learning about Prezi in a collaborative setting, one of the tools, plus other multimedia and open source tools throughout this lesson. The resources, they have to have a computer logged into the internet to connect to Prezi, along with email addresses of students that'll lead the groups. 30 kids can be broken into at least 10 groups. My land school will control where they are on the internet. They have already done previous work, and we are ready to go. So we're going to log on to the Prezi screen so they can see the question at the beginning of the class when they come in. And here it is. What is multimedia? From here, they will answer this question by creating a Google Docs document and answer the question there on their Google Docs document. All right. And then next, we will break into small groups shortly to create our presentation to fill out the rest of this Prezi that I left open. So we'll watch it in class. So what is media? Definition of media to a video about what is multimedia. I have a secondary video about multimedia. Both are short, 4 minutes for that. What programs will be used to create multimedia? Well, proprietary software, its definition and some examples, along with open source software with its definition and some examples. And finally, a video to try to break down the difference between the two, open source and proprietary. About 3 minutes there, online software's definition and some examples of tools, both free and paid. And I hope they enjoy the journey, so we're going to start by having them read these instructions on what they will be doing for their section of each Prezi, or each Prezi section, all sorts of pictures, text, and various items. They're going to present this the next lesson in class. Presentation software, proprietary versus open source and free. Online, same thing, proprietary, open source, and free online for audio editing. I also included GarageBand, sort of unique on its own. Image creation, proprietary, open source, and free online. Video editing, proprietary source, free online, and so it goes. 2D motion, 3D motion for video, and finally 3D motion creation, graphics. Cloud computing will be discussed briefly about an option that hasn't been as relevant in the past. And finally, what will all this mean? Well, you'll make a video at the end of the semester using these tools. Alright, back to the lesson plan. They now will be broken into groups, and in these groups I will share the link for this Prezi to the group leaders by doing this, copying the link, going over to my email, and creating an email, sharing this to the students. Of course, I'll already have had the email addresses built in prior. So now I'll also have them take another look at that tutorial video they should have seen already, but just to remind them of quickly how to use the program, although I will walk through them and help. So the instructions will go back up on the screen for them to view while they begin to work in their groups. This is about a 90-minute lesson. Short classes might have to break here and come back the next day and continue. Once they finish working, we'll revisit their original document to find out what they thought about their definition from the beginning of the lesson, plus add the vocab and new questions that they'll do for homework tonight to their Google Doc. They will, if need be, have time at home to finish their Prezi. They're going to present this tomorrow in class and use Prezi again for a future project. For assessments, they're going to have their homework assignment on their webpage, on their Google Doc. They're going to have a quiz and a group assessment the next day. That's it. It should be a fun lesson.